Alright, let me just say it straight today. Dad and I are planning to come to your house. And no, this isn't just some casual visit. This isn't, let's drop by for tea. This means something. Because in our family, we don't just show up at people's homes for fun. We don't pull up unless we've already decided you matter. And before you panic or start cleaning every corner of your house, let me tell you why this visit is different. You see, I've talked about you a lot more than you probably realize. To him, to my people, to the ones who've seen me go through it all. And trust me, my father, he listens more than he speaks. He takes mental notes. He watches how I talk about someone. If I just mention their name in passing, he forgets it. But if I speak with weight, with that quiet respect in my voice, he remembers. And when it comes to you, he remembered everything. He remembers the way I told him you supported me. When I was at my lowest, he remembers the way you never asked for anything, but gave without question. He remembers that one story I told him about how you stood up for me even when it would have been easier to stay silent. And that's why, now out of nowhere, he said, I think it's time we go meet her properly, at her house, in her space. At first I was a little surprised. He's not the type to rush things. He's not curious like that. He's cautious, protective, slow to trust, even with me. So when he said that, I realized he doesn't just want to meet you. He wants to see for himself what I've been talking about. He wants to walk into your space, not to judge, but to understand. Because that's his way of saying, I'm taking this seriously now. You say she's special? Let me come see it with my own eyes. And you know what? I'm not nervous about it. Because I know you. I know what kind of heart you have. I know how you carry yourself. And more than anything, I know you're not pretending. That's why this visit isn't a test. It's a step forward. A quiet step that says, this isn't just between us anymore. This is growing into something bigger. So baby, when I say Dad and I are planning to come to your house, I'm not just talking about location. I'm talking about presence. About showing up in your world. About bringing my roots into your space. Because I believe you deserve to be part of all of it. The day we decided to come wasn't loud or dramatic. It was actually quiet. Real simple. I was sitting across from Dad, just having a normal evening, TV playing, nothing serious. Then, out of nowhere, he looked at me and said, she's the one you trust most, right? And I didn't even hesitate. I just nodded, because I didn't need time to think about it. I didn't need to check my heart, or look back at moments. I already knew you're that person for me. He sat still for a second, then said, then I need to meet her where she's most herself. I looked at him confused, and then he added, at her home, not a restaurant, not a fancy place, her space. That's when I realized he didn't just want to see you, he wanted to understand you. Because in his words, you don't know someone until you see how they keep their world. And I know that might sound a little intense, but that's just how he thinks. He believes a person's space reflects their soul, not the furniture or the size or the paint, but the little things, like how their energy feels in their own space. Like whether they welcome you, like family, or like a guest. Like whether they're still the same person in their comfort zone as they are in public. And me, I couldn't wait for him to see all that in you. Because I've seen the way you move through life quietly without needing anyone to clap. I've seen the way you organize chaos. How you light up a room without even knowing it. How you make people feel safe. Just by being you. That's what I want him to see. Not just how beautiful you are. Not how kind you are when we're together. But how solid you are in your own space. how real. And honestly, I'm proud to bring him to you. Because you're not just someone I'm seeing, you're the person I talk about. When no one's asking, you're the name that comes up when he says, "Who's been holding you down lately?" So, if you're feeling nervous, don't be. This isn't an inspection. It's a confirmation. He's not coming to find reasons to doubt you. He's coming to see why I've already decided on you and me. I'm just glad the time has finally come. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm walking into someone's house. Not just as a visitor, but as someone who's bringing home with him. The night before we planned to come over, I could feel something shifting in me. Not fear, not doubt, but this deep, calm feeling like, this is right. And not just right for me, but right for the bigger picture. You see, my whole life, my dad has been this solid figure. Not loud, not overly emotional, but always watching, always remembering. He doesn't say much, but when he speaks, you feel the weight of it. And growing up, I always wanted to be the kind of person he'd look at and say, "You chose well." And now, I've chosen you. And not out of pressure, not out of loneliness, but because you've consistently shown up for me in ways that people don't see. Like the way you check on me when I've been quiet too long. The way you don't need fancy words to let me know you're there. The way you hold space for me when I'm not at my best and still speak to me like I'm enough. You've made your place in my life without forcing it. You didn't demand a spotlight. You didn't try to impress my circle. You just did what most people forget to do. You stayed real, and that's what my dad respects the most. So when I told him again, she's not perfect, but she's real, and she's mine, he looked at me and simply said, "Then let's go see. Not, let's go judge. Not, let's test her. Just let's go see." Because for him, this isn't about material things. It's not about whether your house is big or small, whether you've got polished floors or simple furniture. It's about the energy. He's coming to see how you sit in your own space, how you welcome people, how you carry yourself when nothing's being performed. Because that tells him more than anything else. And deep down, I know what he's going to see. He's going to see your quiet strength, your soft power, your natural leadership. Without trying to lead anyone, he's going to see why I trust you with parts of me I don't show anyone else. And I'm not worried, not even a little. Because this isn't just a house visit anymore. This is legacy meeting love. This is the past stepping into the present to quietly approve what's about to become the future. So if you hear a knock soon, if the doorbell rings and it's us standing there, just know we didn't come to test you. We came because we already chose you, and now it's time to let our world see why. That morning before we left to come see you, Dad did something he rarely does. He sat down across from me and said, "Before we go, I need to say something." Now when he says that, you pause, you listen. Because whatever's coming next, it's not going to be light. He looked me in the eye and said, "I've seen you with a lot of people. Some brought you excitement, some brought you lessons. But this one," he leaned back, crossed his arms, "this one has brought you peace. That's different. That's rare." I sat there stunned for a moment, because my dad doesn't talk about love like that. He talks about structure, responsibility, character, but not peace. And that's when I realized he's been watching closely this whole time. Not just how you treat me in public, but how I've changed because of you. He saw how I stopped second-guessing myself, how I stopped chasing things that didn't matter, how I finally looked grounded. He could tell I was growing, but not alone, with someone, with you. So now he wasn't coming to judge. He was coming to say, "I see what she brings into your life. Let me show her what kind of family she's walking into. Because truthfully, this visit wasn't just about him getting to know you. It was also about us showing you who we are. You've carried yourself with so much grace. You've never demanded space in my world. But I knew it was time to give it to you fully. And as we got in the car, my dad looked over at me and asked, "Do you think she's ready for all that comes with you?" I didn't blink, I just said, "She's already been carrying it and doing it quietly." That's the part people miss. They think love is about public posts and loud words. But real love, real loyalty, that shows up behind closed doors. That's felt in the details. That's proven in silence. And you've done that from day one. So now we're pulling up to your street. Dad's sitting calmly beside me, but I can feel he's watching every little thing. The neighborhood. The way the sunlight hits the front of your place. He notices everything. And me, I'm proud. Proud to walk up to your door, not as someone visiting a girlfriend, but as a man standing beside the woman who makes everything feel like home. I know you might be feeling nervous, wondering if your house is good enough, or if you should have said more, done more, prepared more. But listen to me, and please hear this clearly. You don't need to be anything other than what you already are. Because we didn't come for show. We came for truth. And the truth is, you've already made space in my life, in my heart, in my story. Now it's time for my roots to meet that space. It's time for my father to see exactly why I chose you.